The Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon here at Groth is a little bit different than how most reserves are made. This is actually totally dependent on the reserve block that we have here on the property. And that's the same block that Groth has used since 1983 when the first reserve was made. The soils are a little bit different there. We've got a lot of well-drained minerals that include a mineral called chert, which is a little bit unusual for this part of the valley. And it gives the wine that sort of mineral edge, a little bit of an iron flint note to it, great intensity of the Cabernet flavors. And a lot of that is just because those vines really do have to struggle. And so we see a bit more intensity in color, a little bit more tannin, and that means longevity in the wines. These age really well. Some of the wines that I've had from the reserve block going back to the early 80s are still tasting really great today.
In 1983, Nils Wenge, our first winemaker, had learned after his first vintage on the property in 1982 that the sweet spot, these 5 acres on the west side of our vineyard located next to Con Creek, were very special. He just knew that the grapes were sweeter, silkier textured, more elegant than anything else he worked with. And so he wanted to make the Reserve Cabernet and started that in 1983. Later, working with a geologist, David Howell, he kind of helped us figure out why this dirt was so special. Where did it come from? We knew that it was loamier, sandier, harder to grow things in. We knew that the crop yield was naturally lower. What we didn't know is that chert, a sedimentary stone, traveled with this earth about 11 miles through Con Creek, and we're talking an event a millennia ago. And so whenever we can find it, that's where we plant Cab. In some cases, Merlot, Cab Franc, and Petit Verdot today. I think getting the perfect score, or really an outside party to reaffirm what your instincts were telling you, what my parents' instincts and what Nils Wenge's instincts were, that they were on the right track, that they were onto something, that unlike everybody else, they actually believed that this estate could make a world-class wine, and that was very reaffirming.
We've gone through 40 years now and know a lot more than we knew back then. We've got the technology changes that we made when we upgraded the winery, the night harvesting, all of those things. If anything, what they did is what they were supposed to do, which is improve the quality significantly.
This was the first 100-point wine in America, and it really gave Groth, kind of its guidance as to what our top wine was. I spend a little bit more time on this wine than I do on the rest of the wines that we make, and it's just kind of one of those wines that's iconic and something I'm really excited to work with every year.